Hey, yo, my TTG fam. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. Hope you all had a fantastic, wonderful, happy, relaxing, fun, enjoyable, whatever you did weekend. But you guys are ready to get down to business and make some money this week. We're going to talk about market outlook, how we're going to make some money this week. Before I get things started, I would first like to thank our partners over at Benzinga. Your endorsement of our platform that has stated better serves your community also helps to better serve ours. We are proud to be partnered with Benzinga and to offer the Benzinga Pro newsfeed, which is worth $1,400 a year on its own. We offer it free as part of the TTG platform with an annual membership. Guys, go ahead, check out Benzinga on Twitter. Give them a follow at Benzinga. Our partners over at Benzinga, love you guys. You guys are the best in the business. Thanks for your support. Means a lot to us and the TTG family. All right. Guys, listen up. My name is Michael Edward, former award-winning hedge fund trader, now the current head trader at True Trading Group. For those of you that do not know, TTG is the fastest growing, highest rated premium online trading educational platform and community where we all share the same goal, and that is to learn, trade, and profit together. 6 nights a week, we go live totally free right here on this YouTube channel where myself, other TTG Pro Trader moderators, and special guests drop golden nuggets and provide lessons and education on trading that's going to help you become a better trader. So if you guys are ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, you've come to the place. Take a moment right now, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and guys, share this stream on your own social media. Let's educate, let's reach out, let's empower as many retail traders as we possibly can. We're live right now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. So welcome everyone that's joining us on those different media platforms. I'm going to go over a lot of things with you on this live stream. As I do with every live stream, my goal is to provide you with value, with education, with lessons that are going to make you a better trader. But why should you listen to the things that I share with you on this channel and on any of these lives? And I'm glad you asked because, folks, I didn't figure this stuff out on my own. I was taught by professional traders. My very first job out of college was working for a fund in New York, 2007. Then 2008 happened, which is the Great Recession, the housing market crisis, stock market crash. But during that time period, 2008, I actually went on to receive one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. But before they even let me touch $1 of their money, I first had to go through an educational training program. I had access to some of the top trading tools, and I was part of a community of like-minded traders, and that is exactly what the TGD platform is based on. Tonight's live stream is going to be a damn good one. We're going to talk about how we're going to make some money this week, what I expect out of the markets. COVID cases on the rise. Does the market care? That's the trillion-dollar question. Tonight's live stream is going to go down as follows. First up, we're going to do a 20-minute Q&A session. We're going to give some time for people to log on. This is going to be your chance to ask me anything that you need help with. I'm here for you. Then we're going to be talking about the stock market outlook. The market sitting here just right at all-time highs, a literal stone throw away from all-time highs. We made new all-time highs last week. Does that upward trend continue into this week, even in the face of COVID cases rising all around the world? You've got some unrest going on in Europe. There's a lot of protests going on as lockdown and more COVID restrictions are going towards that route. And you have Germany, you have France, you have some unrest going on in Europe. And now you got cases that are also spiking here in the U.S., this Delta variant. But the question becomes, again, does the market care? What do we expect? Do we expect a market pullback? Do we expect a market crash? Do we expect a fear sell-off as people maybe start to think, well, what if we do go back down, go back into another lockdown? What if we do? That's something that we're going to have to be talking about here tonight, guys, on this live stream. We're going to go over the game plan for tomorrow. What are some catalysts going on this week? What are some things that I'm going to be looking at for us to make some money? There's some economic data coming out. We've got a couple of earnings that we're going to be talking about. Where is the focus going to be this week? How do we plan to make money? We got a great month of July. July was a great month. We had a couple of really big trades in there. You had some really good action in small caps in the kind of beginning and middle of July. They cooled off a little bit going into the end of the year. The end of the month, but we had some really good action there. And now we're going to talk about how we're going to make some money and start off the first trading day of August is tomorrow. Now, guys, listen up, listen good. We're about to start that Q&A session. You have myself, a trader with 17 years of experience, telling you, ask me anything. All right, so start typing your questions right in chat now. But please understand there are no such thing as stupid questions. Do not feel shy. Do not feel embarrassed because you think you have a silly question. Believe me, if you have the question, somebody else on this live probably has the same one. And also, don't forget, no matter how experienced of a trader you are, you also had a day one. Now, yeah, I've been doing this for about 17 years, but I also had a day one myself. And I didn't have someone that I can ask questions to. I would not have had a day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. So without any further ado, folks, let's go ahead right now. Let's start that Q&A. Start typing your questions right in chat as we kick off the Q&A session. Let's go. Fundamentals or price action, do you use both or one more than the other? Depends on the trade I'm going after, Eric. What I will say, majority of the time, generally speaking, when I'm actively trading, I'm trading price action. When I'm long-term investing, it's fundamentals. Majority of the time. So it's very, very important, Eric, and everyone else that's on this live stream, that you all understand very clearly there's a very big difference between investing and trading. They are not the same. Yes, you are still buying and selling stocks or options, but they are nowhere near the same strategy. I keep my long-term investments completely separate from my active trading account. I highly suggest you all do the same. My long-term investment portfolios, I have multiple with different strategies, are with JP Morgan Wealth Management and Fidelity. My active trading account is with Lightspeed. My long-term portfolio positions are where I build wealth. My Lightspeed account is where I generate income. Big difference. Now, when I'm investing in my long-term portfolio, it's based on fundamentals. I'll never put a stock in my long-term portfolio simply based on price action. If I'm trading something simply based on price action, that's going to be my Lightspeed account. All right. There's a very, very big difference between those two things. A lot of people mix them together. And that is where you get yourself into a lot of trouble. You get yourself into a lot of trouble when you mix trading with long-term investing. And when you confuse the difference between price action and fundamentals. So when you say like which one is more important or which one do I use more, it depends on what you're doing. Because if you're asking me about when it comes to my active trading, like my day trading and my swing trading, my day trading for the most part is probably 95% price action, maybe 98% price action on my day trading. My swing trading is maybe 80% price action, 85% price action, but there will be a little bit more of a fundamental analysis and thought process in my swing trading. But when it comes to my long-term investing, it's probably 90 or 95% fundamentals and 5 or 10% price action. Two completely, totally different mindsets, two completely, totally different styles and strategies, two completely different styles and strategies that we teach you in True Trading Group. I actually, so in True Trading Group, regardless of whether we are active trading or adding something in our long-term portfolio, the moderators and myself, and it's not just me, there's 7 other moderators in True Trading Group, professional traders that we all have our own style when it comes to active trading. We all have our own different strategies, whether it's day trading, swing trading, stocks, options. It could be high volatility, low volatility. There's really something for everybody inside of True Trading Group, depending on your style or what it is that you trade or how it is that you trade. But we notify members whenever we obviously make an active trade, but we also notify members whenever we make a move in our long-term portfolios. Like I actually just bought, I added to a position. I'll talk to you guys a little bit about this later on the live stream because it's relevant to a topic I'm going to discuss later. But there's a stock that is already in my long-term portfolio that I added to that position on Friday, and I have all intentions of to continue adding to this position. I want to get myself a nice large position in this company. I already owned stock in it. I added to that position on Friday. I will continue to add more. I'll let you guys know what that stock is later on this live stream because it is something that is relevant to a topic I want to get into later. So I know that was kind of a long-winded answer, Eric, to your question, but it's something that I think is very important for people to understand that there's a very big difference between trading and investing. And we teach you both in True Trading Group. But I think people get themselves into a lot of trouble when they mix those two things together. How can you determine a good dip buy? Example, Sava had a huge sell-off. Yeah, Sava had a ridiculous sell-off. How do you determine a good dip buy? So again, we have to discuss, what are we talking about? Are we talking about active trading, or are we talking about long-term investing? Because active trading, a good dip buy, is going to be determined mostly by strictly technical. It's going to be determined mostly by, like, I like to use, like, when I'm looking for a good dip buy opportunity when it comes to technicals and my active trading, I'm really looking for a stock that is in a very clear uptrend. That's first and foremost. When you're looking for a dip buy in active trading, you want a stock that's in a very clear uptrend, that is a strong stock, that has increasing volume as the stock is moving higher. Increasing volume while the stock is moving higher is a very key component of dip buying. So everybody focuses on the dip, but the real factor of your analysis on determining if a dip is a good buyable opportunity or not, a lot of that analysis actually comes from what the stock does prior to the dip. And a lot of people don't understand that. So as a stock is in a clear uptrend and as it's moving higher, you want to make sure that you're continuously seeing volume increase as a stock is going higher, because what that tells you is that the buying pressure of that stock is aggressive, meaning that as a stock is moving higher, the buyers don't necessarily care about the price that they're buying shares at. They want to buy it now. And as the stock moves higher, they have no problem buying it at higher prices, because that the volume increasing as it's going higher in price tells you that. That's a very key component to buying a dip, because you want to make sure that there's aggressive buying in a stock before you decide to step in and buy the dip. Then when you get that pullback, you want to then start to see the volume on the pullback is decreasing in comparison to the volume when the stock was moving higher. It was actually increasing. Now, what does that tell you? That tells you that this is not aggressive selling, because if it was aggressive selling, people would not be so fixated on the price in which they're selling. They would just want to get out and get out now. And the price of the stock moving lower would scare people to say, oh, I better get out. Look, the stock is going down. That would result in volume actually increasing while the price is going lower. So a case in point, let's say, for example, the stock's at $10. It trades 100,000 shares. It goes to $11. It trades 200,000 shares. It goes to $13. It trades 350,000 shares. That's aggressive buying as the stock is going higher. The volume is going higher. Then all of a sudden the stock goes from 13 to 12 and trades 200,000 shares. And then it goes from 12 to 1150 and trades 80,000 shares, decreasing volume on its way back down. That, to me, is a sign of profit taking in the stock that is in a clear uptrend, where you're seeing maybe a little bit of people start to take some profit, but you're not seeing aggressive selling. Aggressive selling would be if the stock's at 13 and it drops to 12, people get scared, say, I got to get out of this thing at 12. Then all of a sudden it drops to 11. Oh man, I really got to get out of this thing at 11. And now the volume is actually increasing on the way down. That is something that would make me say, whoa, let me step back a little bit here. I'm not ready to buy this dip. I'm not ready to buy this dip because this selling pressure that's coming in on the way down, the volume is too heavy for me. So that's how you can make the distinction between what's a buyable dip with a stock that is in a strong uptrend versus a complete reversal. And you don't want to just step in and try to buy a falling knife, or try to catch a falling knife is the term that they use, because what happens when you try to catch a falling knife? You get cut, right? That's where the term came from. So you don't want to try to step in and buy a stock when the volume is increasing on the way down. When you take a look at a stock like Sava, and I'll pull up the chart real quick, the thing that's very concerning to me about Sava is the volume that this stock has traded on the way down these last 2 days. This stock has gotten pulverized these last 2 days, pulverized. And look at the volume on that move lower in comparison to the volume that this stock traded on the way up. So let me make this bigger so you guys can really see the volume. Look at the volume on this thing. So as the stock is moving higher, you can see the volume. But then as the stock is moving down, look at the volume. That to me is concerning. Now, If you're talking about Sava as an active trade, this is not something that I would look to step in front of for an active trade. Now, you probably get a little bounce off of this level. This is a very key support level for Sava. Okay, but I don't like to just buy dead cat bounces. And you probably do get a dead cat bounce on Sava. Maybe tomorrow you might get Sava back to like 75, 74. You might get a dead cat bounce on Sava. But this level was previously a major resistance level for Sava. And when we broke through it, you see it actually became support. And then now this huge sell-off, where did we stop? Exactly at that level, which, oh, by the way, also lines up with the 100-day moving average. That is that purple line on your screen. So I do think you can get a dead cat bounce off of that level on Sava. I do think that is possible. But if you're looking at this as a long-term investment, you've got to ask yourself the reason for this massive sell-off does this fundamentally change your view and your outlook on the company? You got to make sure that there's a big difference between a broken stock and a broken company. Big difference between a broken stock and a broken company. So you've got to make sure that if you're looking at a long-term portfolio position on this, like, hey, you're like, oh, this is something I want to own for the next couple of years. You better make sure the reason for that pullback when it comes to the fundamentals, because this was a fundamental pullback, that reason doesn't change your outlook for the company's future. Now, if you're looking for this pullback as an active trader, yeah, you got some support down there around 63 to 65. You might get a dead count bounce off that level, but that's not the type of trade that I am going to make. I don't like to trade dead cat bounces. I don't fight the trend that much. The trend is your friend, folks. I like to buy strong stocks. I like to short weak stocks. I don't like to buy weak stocks and short strong stocks. In fact, I like the exact opposite. So the trend is your friend. Remember that. New teaching member, what's the best way to plan your entry on a momentum play? How far back in support levels should be looking on small caps? Okay, so Bo Portman, great question. I actually just had a one-on-one with one of our members Thursday. I think it was Thursday. Might have been Friday. It was Thursday or Friday. I don't know. It was either Thursday or Friday. And we actually talked about this exact topic. How far back do you go when you are looking at support and resistance levels? And the answer, folks, is you go as far back left as you have to until you find relevant support and resistance levels. What does that mean? You can find a relevant support or resistance level 1 week ago, or you may not find one until 6 years ago. It all depends on the stock. And what I mean by that, I'll just pull up some random charts here. And just to see if I find anything that we can actually talk about, just to kind of go through this lesson real quickly. I'll pull up like AHPI, for example, right? AHPI, for example, because we actually traded AHPI on Friday. All right. So AHPI, when you get this big move on Friday, right? The stock was gapping up. You get this little move. You look back to the left until you find relevant resistance levels. And you automatically right away, you find two relevant resistance levels. Actually, you count them up, make them three. You found three relevant resistance levels. You had a previous double top right here. Once you broke through that double top, you then had that pivot high and then this pivot high. So you can see as soon as you look to the left, you automatically find price structure. Okay, you find resistance levels just a week ago. Just a week ago. Now, when this is the case, I no longer need to look any further back to the left. I have my levels right here. You go as far left as you have to until you find relevant levels. And you can do that very, very quickly when you pull up a chart of AHPI as you look to the left. Right? It's 1 week. You go 1 week back, bang, bang, bang. Oh my, wow, look at all this. Look at all this resistance. You got three different levels here on AHPI. I don't need to go all the way back to 2020. Right? I don't need to go all the way back to here. I don't have to do this. I don't have to go all the way back to the left and say to myself, like a mistake a lot of traders will make is some traders will do this. They'll go, okay, well, they'll say, well, here's resistance. right? They go, well, there's resistance. Then they go, there's resistance. This is a big mistake a lot of inexperienced traders make, okay? They say, well, there's resistance, and then they'll come in closer, and they go, there's resistance, and now all of a sudden, instead of 3 resistance lines like I just had before, now all of a sudden I have 5. Now all of a sudden I have 5. That's incorrect. Okay? Because these levels, these circles, those levels were broken. Right? Those levels were broken already. Now, if we were looking at the stock, this is actually a really good example. Let's say we were looking at a stock, the stock on this day. Let's say today was July 13th and AHPI was gapping up to $6 and we're like, okay, we got to look to the left. Where do we find levels? Where are our levels? Now, in this case, when we look back to the left, now these levels are significant. Now, all of a sudden, these levels do come into play. But once you have this price action, those levels are now broken. So now when I'm looking at the stock on Friday, July 30th, the only levels I now need to focus on are these 3. That's it. Those are the levels I need to focus on. I do not need to focus on that because that has already been broken. Okay? Big mistake a lot of inexperienced traders make is that they look, even though they find these levels here, they continue to go back and they draw a line across every single top that they find. And then all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, their chart has 35 lines on it. Your chart should not have 35 lines on it. There's not going to be that many levels that are going to be relevant to the current price of the stock. So you go as far back left as you have to until you find those relevant levels. Okay? I hope that helps, Bo. Great question. Mike, can you explain a short squeeze? Absolutely. It would be my absolute pleasure to explain a short squeeze. Let's talk about short squeezes. Everyone loves them, right? They're so much fun, unless you're short. They're not fun. Not fun when you're short. A lot of fun when you're long. So what happens in short when you have a short squeeze? Okay. You have different market participants. You have longs, you have buyers, you have sellers, and then you have short sellers. And then you have short covers. A lot of different participants in the market with different positions. Buyers are people that are just wanting to come in and they're buying the stock now. Sellers are people that already own the stock and now want to sell it. Shorts are people that have no position but want to sell the stock. Short covers are people that shorted the stock and now need to buy the stock back. 4 different types of market participants. Now, the ratio of these participants is very, very important. First, we got to talk about what is shorting. What does that even mean? When you short a stock, what that means is you're selling shares you don't actually own. The idea of short selling is if you think a stock's going to go down, you'll short it. If it goes down, you'll make money. If it goes up, you'll lose money. So let's say a stock's at $10. You think it's going to $7. You're going to go to your broker and you're going to say, hey, Mr. Broker, can I borrow some shares? And your broker's going to say, yeah, sure, Tim, no problem. I'll lend you some shares. You might have to pay me a little bit of a fee for it, but I'll lend them to you. You just got to promise to give them back because they're not yours, they're mine. And you go, man, Mr. Broker, I really appreciate that. Sure. I'll pay you, $50, $100 as a retainer. Just let me borrow these shares. I promise I'll give them back to you. Great. You pay your fee. You get shares from your broker. You sell them at $10. Now, you sold the shares. You no longer own them, which is a problem because you have to return them to your broker, right? You got to return them to your broker. So you are hoping that you sold the stock at 10 and it goes down to 7. And if it goes down to 7, you can buy the shares back at 7 and then return the shares to your broker, and you'll make that $3 spread, right? If you sold $1,000 worth of stock at 10 and then you bought it back. So if you sold, let's say, 1,000 shares at $10 and then you bought 1,000 shares back at $7, you made $3,000. You made $3 a share. Okay? That's the idea with short selling. But where the problem lies and how short squeezes form is when you get a lot of people come in, a lot of people think the stock's going to go down, so a lot of people short it. A lot of people sell shares at $10. Now, once you have people that sell those shares at $10, they have to buy those shares back. At some point, they have to buy them back. So those short sellers eventually will turn into net buyers. That's the key. A short seller will eventually turn into a net buyer. All right? Because they have to buy the shares back. So when you get all those people come in, and when a lot of people short the stock at $10, but you still have a lot of people that are buying the stock at $10. So you've got the buyers coming in buying at 10. You have the short sellers shorting at 10. But now let's say the stock does not go down to 7. Let's say the stock goes to 11. Then it goes to 12. Now the short seller that shorted the stock at 10 is starting to lose money. They're starting to get very nervous because now they're actually losing money on the trade. At the same time, their broker sees the stock at 12 and they're like, man, I let you borrow these shares at $10. Now the shares are at 12. Now they're at 13. Now they're at 14. Hey, I want my shares back. That's a margin call. That's a margin call. What happens is your short sellers are now forced to cover their positions, which means they turn into net buyers. Once short sellers turn into net buyers, the stock's already moving up. Now shorts are buying the stock back to cover out their position to return the shares to their broker. So now they're buying the shares at 12, 13, 14. That buying pressure, coupled with people that are just buying the stock for the very first time, which are your net buyers, or people that are going long, pushes the price of the stock even higher, which forces other shorts to cover their position, which pushes the stock even higher, which then causes buyers on the long side to have FOMO and be like, oh my God, the stock was just at 10. Now it's at 15. It's going to the moon. I got to buy it now. And now all of that buying pressure creates an environment where there is virtually no one left to sell the stock. Because your short sellers have now turned into net buyers. Your longs are still net buyers, which leaves you with very little selling pressure on the other side of that trade, and the stock just goes straight up. That is called a short squeeze. That's the dynamics of a short squeeze. That's the fundamentals of a short squeeze. Short squeezes are extremely volatile. They're very powerful. They usually go further than anybody expects, but they also end with massive drops to the downside. Like as fast as the stock goes up, it will equally almost come down as fast as it does, because once the short squeeze happens, once all of your short sellers are out of their position, once all of your shorts have covered that position, you have just removed an entire segment of the market. So all of those shorts that became net buyers to cover their position, they're now no longer in the market at all. They got their asses kicked. They're licking their wounds. They're at home crying. They're not even in the market anymore. All of your longs, all your buyers that bought at 10, 11, 12, now they see the stock's at 20 and they go, oh my God, this is great. I'm going to take profit. All of your longs, they now become net sellers. And you now have everyone that was buying at 10, 11, 12, they no longer want to buy at 20, 25, 30. They're now sellers. And now once your net longs turn into net sellers, and your shorts who were net buyers when they were covering their position, now that buying pressure is not there anymore. And now when profit taking steps in from the longs, the stock drops very quickly because now there's no one left to buy the stock at those inflated levels. Because the stock is inflated at artificially high prices because of all your short sellers that were forced, they didn't have a choice to buy the shares back at higher prices. So you get this artificially inflated share price, like GameStop at 400. When GameStop squeezed to 400, There wasn't a single person on the planet Earth that actually thought GameStop was valued at $400 a share. But all of your shorts were forced to buy the stock, which pushed the stock all the way up to 400. And then you can see the stock literally a week later was like back at $80 or something like that, like after that big squeeze in January. And that's what happens. And that's a short squeeze. I hope that was enough of an explanation where you guys were able to understand that. Some really long answers to these questions tonight. Since I have joined the TG family, I am learning so much from your courses and making money. Thank you, fam. Yes, John Bean, my man. Music to my ears, John. Absolutely music to my ears. Mike, do you believe in using hard stops, or does that leave us open to getting stopped out by the market makers? Okay, I hate this. I absolutely hate this comment. Dan B, I'm sorry, I'm not picking on you. But I use, first of all, I use mental stop losses. It's personal preference. I have nothing against physical stop losses. I know very, very experienced traders that still use physical stop losses. It's just personal preference. Can you trust yourself to actually stick to a mental stop? Yes or no? That's what it comes down to. If you say you're going to get out at $12.20, when the stock gets to $12.15, what are you doing? When it's at $12.10, $12, $11.80, $11.75, are you still in that stock? If you are, you can't use mental stop losses. You've got to use hard physical stops. Now, the other part of your question, okay, and this is a very, very, very common question. Very common question, okay, about getting stopped out by market makers. All right. I want to say something very quickly about market makers, because you have a lot of people that are under the impression that there's this gang of market makers out there and they get off on just going down and stopping you out and then moving the price of the stock higher. There is not an evil gang of market makers conspiring against us. Do you guys have any idea how many stop losses are in the market at any given time? Millions. There are stop losses at virtually almost every price. A market maker's job is to maintain an orderly market and match order flow. Get a buy order, get a sell order, match it, transact the trade. That's the market maker's job. Now, yes, you do have market makers that do trade for their own book, that what their job is to make money. Yes. But a market maker is not going to be sitting there saying, ooh, look at that stop loss for 200 shares. Let me go mess with this guy. I'm going to move the entire market all the way down to stop that person out, just so then I could buy all the shares in the market back to a higher price, just so we can laugh at the guy with the 200 share stop loss. That is not realistic. Okay, a market maker does not necessarily have the ability to literally move an entire market that has thousands and thousands and thousands of other participants buying and selling at the same time. The reason why you are getting stopped out is not the evil market makers conspiring against you. It's because traders have there's bundles of stop losses that will typically be around the same price, because everybody sees the same chart. Everybody sees the same support level. So everybody sets their stop loss around the same area. But the problem with that is, as the stock moves lower, stop losses get triggered. What happens when a stop loss gets triggered? It sells the stock down. Well, if there's someone that has a stop loss at 12.20 and their stop loss gets triggered, it sells the stock to 12.19. But what if there's someone at 12.19 with the stop loss? their stop loss is going to be triggered by the shares that were sold by the stop loss that was at 12.20. So that 12.19 stop loss triggers, that gets sold. Well, what if there's someone at 12.18 and 12.17 and 12.15, 12.10, 12.12, $12, $11.95, $11.90, and so on. Selling begets selling. So when one stop loss triggers, it triggers a second, which triggers a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and all those bundle of stop losses, they all trigger each other. And then you get this tail that gets put in because there's not enough shares there to be bought, but all of these stop losses are triggered at the same, almost simultaneously. That's why that's happening. It's not Citadel sitting behind his desk going, ha, 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 ha. That's not what's happening. So many people have this misconception. That's why a lot of times that happens. And that's when you get those air pockets where it's like, we call it the flush. That's when a stock flushes because there's not enough shares there to be bought, but so many people have their stop losses there. And when the stop losses trigger, one triggers another, which triggers another, which triggers another, and you get and it's almost like a vacuum because all those shares are trying to be sold at the exact same time. That is when oftentimes you get stopped out and then the stock will recover because that stop out area where all your stop losses are, it's still a support level. So there is still buying at that area. But when the stops trigger at the same time, it's too rapid of a sell-off and the buyers can't fill in fast enough. So you get the quick flush and then the market makers who have buy orders fill those buy orders in and all of a sudden the stock goes right back up. It's not necessarily the market maker saying, let's go down here and let's purposely stop this person out just to piss them off and let's move the stock back up. You have to understand the dynamics of the market and how things actually work. There are not a gang of market makers conspiring against you. You have to understand market dynamics and what is actually taking place that is causing this price action in the market. Okay? So Dan, excellent question. I'm very glad you asked it. And please do not take, and Dan, please don't take like my response as like a dig. I want people to understand this. It's a very important question. A lot of people ask me this question, but it's a very, 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 very common misconception. And I want to just make myself very clear that market dynamics, this is what's going on. This is what's taking place. Excellent question. Okay. Thank you for asking it. And I think that just about sums up. I think we'll just wrap up our Q&A session right there. I mean, this is a great Q&A session. I think I only got to like 4 or 5. I think I only got like 4 or 5 questions, but you guys asked such great questions. You asked such great questions that it took me a while to actually explain them. And I'm happy to. I'm more than happy to take the time. I'm more than happy to take the time to answer these questions. This is how we learn. This is why we do this. Okay. This is how we learn. This is why we do this. This is why I do these Q&As. So you guys can ask me any questions that you want. So we could, continue to educate and empower as many retail traders as we possibly can. It's my absolute pleasure. You guys did a fantastic job. A lot of really good questions here tonight. So thank you everyone that was asking all of those questions. If you are not a member of True Trading Group, if I did not get to your question, don't worry. I do this 6 nights a week. Make sure you just click the subscribe button and the notification bell icon. Make sure you guys never miss any one of these live streams. And if you are a member of True Trading Group, guys, simply just send me or any one of the other 7 Pro Trader moderators a private message in chat tomorrow. We'll be more than happy to answer your question. And for those that are not members, if the ability to have access to me or any other Pro Trader during the day in chat to ask questions at any time sounds strange to you, I assure you it is the norm with True Trading Group, and it's part about what makes us a family. All right. But speaking of new, and if you're not a teaching member, I like to see what we're working with here. We've got about 1,200 people that are joining us live right now on the different platforms. So welcome all of you. But I would love to know how many people are new. So guys, type the number 1 in chat right now. type the number 1 if this is your first live stream with TTG or you're not a member of True Trading Group. Just go ahead and type type the number 1 in chat right now if you're not a member or this is your first live stream. All right, we got Matthew, Charles Shand, Ralph McGrow. We've got Evan Fleetwood, Ibrahim Anwar. We got Sam, Peter Zhu. We got Manuel Diaz, John Okoa, Kenny McDowell. Now, Christy, I've had this picture behind me the whole time. Eric Garland, Bears fan, Antonio Rivero, Alan Charles, Brian Feeney. Nice. Dan B, not a member, but a long-time YouTube viewer. Thanks for that question, Dan. That really actually was a topic that I think was helpful for a lot of people. Kurt Britton. JD, welcome back, JD. Jim Wilkerson, Angelique Lee Leslie, Nanya Business, Neil Go, Troy Jentz, beautiful guys. John Shaver, Jim Dandy, Ledwan Viamante. Guys, great. So many number 1s coming through chat right now. I can't even keep track of them all. Can't even keep up with them all. But guys, welcome. All of you are typing number 1 in chat. Beautiful. I love it. Before we get into the main topics tonight, and we got a great stream. We're going to be talking about the overall markets. We're going to be talking about COVID. We're talking about a couple of earnings that we have coming up that are due up this week that I think are going to be important for us to pay attention to, that I think are going to provide us with some trade opportunities. And then there's a stock that I added in my long-term portfolio on Friday that I'm going to discuss with you all, and how the earnings that we have coming up, how that plays into what I did on Friday, a stock that I added in my long-term portfolio. I've already had a position on it. I just made that position a little bit bigger. And I plan on continuing to make that position big. We have an infrastructure bill on deck that we got to talk about. So we have a lot to get into on how we're going to make money this week and where I think opportunity lies and what I think the overall market's going to be doing. But before we do, I want to just say something very quickly because we have a lot of new faces that are joining us here tonight. And I want to be very clear. You guys understand True Trading Group is a premium product. All right. We are an educational platform for traders. We're not just a chat room or courses or trade alerts. We're a platform for traders. We combine top-notch education with premium tools from companies like TradingView, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, Quote Media. We're a community where we all share the same goal. That's to learn, trade, and profit together. And yes, True Trading Group is a business. And a lot of people will ask me, well, but Mike, if you're a good trader, then why make a business? Well, at the same time, folks, I'm also a businessman. And my partner, Adam, and I, we saw an opportunity to positively disrupt an industry that has a terrible reputation, and for good reason. The reputation of like online trading courses and trade alerts. It's got a horrible reputation. You have so many people out there that don't know their ass from their elbow. They sell you some kind of dream. They say, listen, I have the secret. I unlock this magical key. I have this special mathematical equation. I have this one simple pattern that has never steered me wrong. I've made millions. Just follow me and you can do the same. It's complete bullshit. It's complete nonsense. Guys, I worked for a hedge fund in New York City. Believe me, if there was a secret, they would have told me about it. The only secret to trading and being successful in the market is getting an actual education. That's exactly what I was fortunate enough to. My first experience as a trader was working for a fund, and I was taught by professional traders. All right. But there's a lot of nonsense. There's a lot of garbage out there. So this industry has a bad reputation. And like I said, but for good reason, and we saw an opportunity to disrupt this industry to provide real value and real education to the everyday retail trader. And now I get to wake up every day, do what I love, and that's trade, and get paid to help others become successful traders by providing 10 times the value of any other company out there for literally a fraction of the price. And if you guys don't like the idea of True Trading Group being a business, then ask yourself this: would you rather that we treated you as a charity, or would you rather that we gave you exactly what you paid for and then some? Because we run a business, and the purpose of that business is to grow and succeed, just like any other business. But our growth and success is based on your success as members. That's how we've grown True Trading Group literally since day one, which is 0 members, up to now about 7,000 members. That is how we've done it, by having successful members and by growing with our members. That's why we say welcome to the family. We truly give a damn whether you guys succeed or fail. That's why my team and I work about 15 hours a day, no joke, on this platform to continue to make it better, improve on it, and add value for all of our members. We're only as good as our members do, not by how much money we spend on marketing. Our success is directly tied to yours. So just because we're on here and I do sell a membership that does not make the quality of the information that we provide here any less. Because at the end of the day, we are successful if our members are successful, and our members are making money flat out, and they're becoming better traders. And that's what matters. And if you guys don't believe me, I want you to pay attention real quick. Watch this. If you are a member of True Trading Group, if you are making money and you are becoming a better trader because of TTG, I want you to go ahead and type the number 1 in chat right now. Type the number 1 in chat right now. I want everyone that's not a member, just watch the side of the screen right now. Just see how many number 1s come through in chat right now. That's all I want you to do. Just look at how many number 1s come through chat. Kind of looks like level 2 breaking through resistance, doesn't it? Look at all these number 1s. This is wild. Damn, my TG fam is out strong tonight. Look at all these number 1s. Wow. Wow. Jacob Davis goes, instead of typing a 1, he typed a 0.5 because he goes, I'm not a member, but just your live streams have helped me become a better trader. That's awesome. That's awesome. So guys, so there you have it. Okay, so important. I want you guys to hear it directly from the horse's mouth. I want you guys to hear it directly from TG members. They're the ones that are sitting here telling you, hey, guys, listen, seriously, the education is legit. I tried it. I did it. I'm making money now. I'm becoming a better trader. If they can do it, guys, so can you. There's no difference between them and you. They found True Trading Group the same way you did, and that's one of these informational live streams. You know? So keep that in mind. Now, before we do get into the main topics here for the night, for those that don't know, we do a lot of giveaways with our members. I always do giveaways with my fam. One of the giveaways we do, which everybody loves, I love it probably, I think more than anybody, is every time TGG gets 300 new members, we give away a Tesla or 30 grand cash to one lucky TGG member. All you got to do is be a member, and you choose cash to the car when you win. But we also do giveaways with new members as well. We're constantly giving out like Amazon Kindle Fires, Android tablets, laptops. We don't always have them available, but when we do, they go very quickly. Tonight, folks, we've got 21 laptops available for the next 21 people to sign up for True Trading Group. These will not last. Adam is back from his vacation, by the way, and Joe has filled in wonderfully, kind of negotiating with wholesalers to get hands on these laptops. So we've got 21 of them left right now since some that were gone over the weekend, able to get our hands on just a couple more. We have 21 of them since I started this live stream. We originally had 23, but just before the live, 2 other people actually grabbed them. So now we're down to 21. So you have 21 laptops remaining for the next 21 people to join the TG fam. It's totally free. We even cover the shipping, and we do ship globally. A membership to True Trading Group, it's normally for the year, it's normally $2,212. But from now until midnight Pacific, you can save 40%. It actually brings the price of the membership down to just $1,316 for the whole year. And the first 21 people to use the coupon code TTG121 will get themselves that 40% discount, but also a brand new laptop, totally free. We even cover the shipping cost for you. I want you guys to understand that when you do pay that $1,316 for the year and use coupon code TTG121, there are no upsells. There's no add-ons. You don't pay $1. Again, you get everything that we have included in your year membership. It's our entire curriculum. There are no special VIP pro courses that cost more money. You get every single course. It's a 17-course curriculum. It's a simplified version of the stuff I learned working at the hedge fund. There's beginner and foundation courses for those that have never done this before. Then there's advanced courses for those more seasoned traders. There's also courses on options, swing trading, trader psychology. There's even courses on crypto, how to do your taxes. There's everything. All of our courses are in text and video format. You get access to all of them. You also get Benzinga Pro's real-time news feed, which is a live breaking news alert service directly inside of our chat room. You get Quote Media's full book level 2, which shows you all the market maker depth inside of level 2. You get TradingView's pro charting software. It's one of the most commonly used charting softwares by traders today. You get a trade simulator that lets you trade stocks and options with fake money while you practice implementing what you've learned in the courses with real-time data. You also get our Trade Ideas scanner, which shows you stocks making new highs, new lows, volume surges, The scanner is broken down and segmented into small caps, mid caps, and large caps. Whatever you trade and whatever you focus on, that will make sure that you are always focused on the stocks that give you the best chance to profit during the day. Then, of course, access to our chat room, which is not Discord or anything like that. It's proprietary software. The moderators and I, we all share our screen during the day, so you see what we see. We're live on the microphone talking to you just like I'm talking to you now. I call out my trades in advance of making them. Literally. I come on the microphone in chat live. And so I go, hey, guys, ABCD, I'm looking to be a buyer in front of 12. Look for a pullback into 12, 12.15, 12.20. I'm looking to be a buyer. Stop loss 11.75. That is literally what I say on the microphone before I enter the trade. True or false? My TGD members, do I or do I not come on the microphone in advance and tell you what I'm going to do before I actually do it? True or false? So you guys can just pay attention to some of the comments that come through chat right now. I literally would tell you guys what I do before I actually do it on the microphone. Then the trade alert gets sent out once my order actually executes. Then you get that trade alert that pops up in chat. You can also send us private messages. You can send us DMs in chat. You can ask the moderators and I any questions during the day. We're there the whole day. We're not gone after just 2 hours. And the moderators and I are currently sporting over an 80% win rate in chat, which means over 80% of the time that we call out a trade alert, it is a profitable one. We're fully transparent. We keep a trading journal on the site. All of our moderators are required to upload their trading activity every day to that trading journal. So you see literally every buy and literally every sell that our moderators make. So you can track and see everything that's going on with all those trades. We do live workshops every single week. We do one-on-one mentor sessions with lifetime members. We do small private study groups. This is your chance to really get individualized attention, go over lessons and topics that you really need help with. It can really be a game changer and speed up that learning curve for you. I told you guys about the giveaways. Like I said, we give away a Tesla or 30 grand to one lucky TGD member whenever we get 300 new members. And the first 21 people, I should say the next 21 people to use coupon code TTG121 will get that big 40% discount. The price goes up at midnight tonight also, folks. So you guys want that 40% discount. You have until midnight Pacific tonight to use coupon code TTG121. It comes out to just over like $3.50 a day. It's just over $100 a month. All right, so use coupon code TGD121. You actually have to enter the code and click apply code to get the discount. You'll know you're getting one of the 21 laptops because in your checkout cart, you'll see the laptop. If you go to checkout and you don't see the laptop, that means we've sold out. But if you go to the checkout page and that laptop is right there in your cart, that means that you have secured one of those laptops. Last but not least, guys, I do offer a money-back guarantee. I am so damn confident that if you put in a little effort that this can work for you, that I offer money-back guarantees on this program. Over 80% of our members have gone on to become successful traders. And that's according to a recent survey that we did with our members the first week of July. We surveyed our members. According to that survey, it's just over 80% are making money and becoming successful traders. You saw how many people typed the number one in chat when I asked that question, and you saw all those number ones come through. Bottom line, if my members were not making money, I would not be able to offer you a money-back guarantee. But I stand behind the program, the education, the community that we have created, and that is why if you commit to me, I will commit to you. Here's the deal. If you go through all the courses, pass the quizzes, and attend one private study group. If you do those three things, that means you committed, you tried, you gave it an effort. If you still do not make your membership fee back, which is $1,316, if you don't make that back at least one time during your membership, I will give you a full refund. I'm not kidding. I will give you all of your money back. Worst case scenario, you join, you don't make your money back. I give you your money back, and you got a free laptop in the meantime. Best case scenario, you join, you get a free laptop, you become a successful trader, and you go on to achieve financial goals you never thought were actually possible. So you guys weigh the risk reward on that trade. Justin, welcome to the family. Folks, everyone, my TGD fam, everyone, guys, welcome Justin, newest member to the family. Justin, welcome, brother. Guys, there's only 20 laptops left now. There's only 20 laptops left. Use coupon code TTG121 to claim your laptop and to get that 40% discount before price goes up at midnight tonight. Midnight Pacific tonight, that price goes up. Use that coupon code, guys. Get yourself one of, which is now, we had 23. We're now down to 20. Justin, welcome to the TTG family, guys. So again, TTG121, use that coupon code. All right. Now, let's move on. Let's talk about weekly outlook. All right, let's move on. I want to talk to you guys about weekly outlook because What I'll do right now, actually, I will share my screen with you, and I'll pull up a chart of the SPY. I want to talk about overall markets first. All right, I want to talk about overall markets first. Let's do a quick check-in on futures. Oh, my goodness. That is impressive. 44180, 44180. Where are we at now? 44175, 441. Wow. All right, folks, we are right up at all-time highs right now as we speak on futures. So the futures market right now is up half of a point. We're up 0.5% on S&P futures. We are at 4411.75. We are 4411.75 on the S&P futures. So we are sitting right at all-time highs. Okay, we are right at all-time highs. Now, let's talk about levels on the markets first, because COVID cases are spiking, and they're spiking pretty drastically with this Delta variant. Florida just recorded the highest single day case count since the start of the pandemic. So Florida has just recorded more cases in one day than they did at any point during the first or second wave that occurred March, April, and then again in the summertime. So Florida cases, I actually thought to myself yesterday when I saw that news headline that might shake up the futures market. I thought that might shake up the futures market a little bit, but it didn't. It didn't. We're right back up to where we are. And you have to understand the psychology of the market and what's going on right now. I have been saying for months, any COVID-related headline dip in the markets, it's buyable. Okay? Any COVID-related headline dip is buyable. All right? That's what I've been saying for months. And so far, we have been correct with that statement. Every single COVID dip, I mean, not all these dips were COVID related. Some of these dips were Federal Reserve and inflation related. But any dip that has occurred because of a COVID headline, it scares the market. The market has PTSD. Everybody remembers when COVID cases were spiking. What happened last time? We shut down the economy. The markets crashed 35%. It sucked, right? Everybody remembers that. So it shakes up the markets. But then at the end of the day, I don't think the markets believe that we are going to go into another lockdown in the United States. Now, if we did go into another lockdown in the United States, I think that changes things. I do not think the markets will shrug off another lockdown. I do think another lockdown could bring, a 7 to 10% pullback in the market if we do have another lockdown. All right. I do not think the markets would take kindly to another lockdown. I don't think America would take kindly to another lockdown. But what is happening in some other places in the world is starting to be a little concerning with what you're seeing happen in France, with what you're seeing happen in Germany, where the governments there are implementing more restrictions and more lockdowns. And there are massive protests and riots and stuff going on in the streets with people that just don't want to, they don't want to have it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to be locked down. They don't want to be forced to close their business again. They don't want to do it. They can't do it. They won't survive. And I'm just surprised that there's not more talk about it. And the markets don't seem to care very much because the markets don't believe that we're going to go into a lockdown here in the United States. If the markets thought we were going to go into a lockdown again, that COVID headline from Florida would have caused a gap down in futures. Plain and simple. Because if the market is looking at what's happening in other countries, restrictions, lockdowns, and then all of a sudden you get a headline over the weekend that says Florida reports single highest case count since the start of, If the markets thought that a lockdown in the United States was a possibility, you would have seen a gap down in futures. I think you would have seen a gap down in futures. So I think the market is telling you right now they do not believe a lockdown is in our future. Now, that's a good thing and could potentially be a bad thing. It's a good thing because that means if we don't have any type of lockdown, the markets are free to move higher. The bad thing is if we do have some type of lockdown implemented again, that means the markets will be caught off sides. I almost would have, if we do go into another lockdown, you'd rather the market anticipate it than be caught off guard by it. And I believe that today's action right now at 9:33 p.m. Eastern time, the futures sitting at all-time highs after that news report of COVID out of Florida over the weekend and what's going on in France and Germany and some other places around the world, that's the market telling you we don't think we're going into a lockdown. You would have rather, Joseph, welcome to the TTG family. Folks, everyone give a big warm welcome to Joseph, our newest member of the family. Guys, that means there's only 19 laptops left now. I told you, these go fast. Use coupon code TTG121. You'll get the 40% discount before the price goes up at midnight, and you'll get yourself a brand new laptop. Next 19 people to do so. All right. So the gap up on futures right now, and I think it sticks. I think this gap up sticks. I don't expect a sell-off between now and tomorrow morning. I think this gap up sticks, but we'll see. You never know. We might lay our heads to rest tonight and wake up tomorrow with futures being down. You never know what could happen, right? You never know what could happen. But as of now, this action in the futures market tells me the markets don't think we're going to go into a lockdown, which would put the market off sides if we did have some type of a lockdown. So if you do get some type of lockdown or any type of discussion like that comes from the Biden administration, you would then expect a significant pullback and a violent pullback because the markets would be caught off sides. And what I mean by that is too many people would be on one side of the trade. That's why it would almost have been better if we did have some type of a pullback or some type of, hedge against the possibility of a lockdown. But the markets right now are telling you that they don't care. So let's talk about some levels. All right, let's talk about levels on the market. I'm going to go down to a 15-minute chart. Peter, welcome to the TTG family. Everyone give Peter a big warm welcome. Everyone give Peter a big warm welcome, guys. Newest member to the TTG fam. Welcome, Peter. Peter, Justin, Joseph, looking forward to trading with you guys. There are now only 18 laptops left. There are only 18 laptops left. All right, guys, use coupon code TTG121. All right, use coupon code TTG121. The next 18 people will get the free laptop and you'll get the 40% discount before the price goes up at midnight. So here's 15-minute chart on the SPY. Let's talk about some levels. Obviously, level all-time high. All right, this is a level you got to look at, 441.75. We are literally sitting right there right now on the futures market. Let me just do a quick check. Have we moved? Nope, we're right there. We are literally right there. All right, we are literally right there. Okay, literally futures are literally right here. All right, so we're right at those all-time highs right now. So that's a potential little resistance level. Once you get above that, you don't really have any technical levels of resistance from that point. All right, you don't have any technical levels of resistance at that point. All right, but we don't really need to focus on resistance, right? Everyone wants to know about support levels. Everyone wants to know about support levels in case we do get that pullback. Where can we start to buy? And I'll give you some minor levels, then I'll give you a major, and then I'll give you more major levels. Okay. Minor level, 438. 438 is going to be a minor support level. It was support all day on Friday. All day on Friday. All right. All day Friday, you had support at 438. You also had support at 438 on Wednesday. Now, this was the Fed announcement. So yes, I know we did tail through 438. I know we did tail through it right here, but we immediately took it back, and that was just algorithms kind of joshing for position once the Fed meeting and the Fed announcement came out. So as soon as the Fed announcement came out, you got that quick, and then we just took it right back. So I still consider this 438 support level still firmly intact. That I consider a minor support level. Okay. This I consider a minor support level. But now let's talk about more major support. In case we do get some type of lockdown, in case we do get some type of COVID scare, where can we look at support? And folks, the level of support that I'm going to be looking at is really going to be down around 435.50 to 436. 435.50 to 436. I think this is more of a stronger level. And really, you can take it all the way down to 435. I'm going to call it 435 to 436. That level to me is a lot more substantial. That level to me was this gap fill. So remember, you had that gap up. That gap up is what took us to all-time highs the first time. And then we filled that gap on the pullback day on the 27th, and we stuck that support and then took it right back to all-time highs. So I believe that that level is a pretty firm support level. As you look back to the left, you'll also notice that you had previous resistance. Let me pan over just so you guys can see this a little bit more clearly. You'll see we had resistance right up here for 2 consecutive days before you had that huge gap down day, right? It's like I look at this level, this 435 area, guys. I look at 435 to 436. Let me just draw 2 lines. Let me actually see if I could do, instead of a line, I'm actually going to draw out for you. Let me just delete all this. Let me clean this up. Let me go to like an hourly chart just so you guys can see this a little more clearly. I want you to see it more clearly. I'm going to draw a line across 435 to 436. Okay, this is the zone I'm looking at. I'll draw it all the way out. Okay, this is the zone that I'm looking at. All right, this is the level that I'm looking at. All right, this is that 435 to 436 level. And you'll see back here, previous resistance, we broke above it. You'll then see we started to kind of hold that level support. Then all of a sudden you had the gap down, it became resistance. Then we gapped through it. Then it became support again. Like that's the level that I'm looking at for more support. I think that level is more significant than 438. So that's why 438, you guys can say, is a minor level of support. 435 to 436 is more major. Once you get below 435, that's when things really open up. Things really open up below 435. Okay? Because once you get below 435, you're getting into that reversal day. There's not a lot of structure down here. Not a lot of shares exchange hands at these price points. There's not a lot down there. I would call a level maybe around 428. After 428, you've got the gap fill to 425. And then you're talking about, obviously, then you're getting all the way down towards, 422. I mean, things really open up once you get below 435, things really open up. All right. All right. So that's what I'm looking at as more major levels. Once you drop down off of that level, if you get below 435, guys, then I would expect that momentum to take you down to the high 428s. But again, I only think that happens if there's a real kind of COVID or lockdown scare. Joseph, another Joseph, welcome to the TTG family. Everyone give a big warm welcome to Joseph. That's our second Joseph for the night. Everyone welcome Joseph. Guys, that means we are now down to 17 laptops. All right. The next 17 people to use the coupon code TTG121 will get themselves a brand new free laptop with their membership. And you'll get the 40% discount before the price goes up at midnight tonight. All right. Just got to use coupon code TTG121. Okay. Now, those are your levels, but let's talk about price action. What do we actually think is going to happen here this week? Well, I think that with what the market's showing us right now, the strength of this market right now, the futures just made a new high. The futures are now at 44.1350. So 44.1350 right now on the futures. So the futures just made a new high. I think that this move higher on futures, I'll go out the daily chart now. I do think that this can continue now, and I think the SPY can get up to 442, 443, 444. You've got a couple things happening this week to start the week, and then you may get weakness later in the week. I think this week, you have strength in the beginning, weakness in the end. And let me tell you why. This week, I think you're going to have a lot of, first of all, from a technical standpoint, the market's telling you that we're pushing higher with the futures market. That's good. But you also have infrastructure talks. You had Chuck Schumer say that you could have a vote in days. I think the markets are going to welcome that. The markets are going to welcome the infrastructure bill. I think that that can give a little bit of a tailwind to the markets and continue to push us higher. But then as you get towards the end of the week, there's some data that's coming out. You've got on Wednesday, the ADP employment report. Thursday, you have initial jobless claims and continuing jobless claims. Friday, you have non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, hourly earnings, consumer credit. So you're going to have, I think Monday, Tuesday could be strength from a technical standpoint and from talks with infrastructure. The back end of the week, you have the potential for a little weakness once you start to get some employment data because of what's going on with the COVID spikes. That is probably going to be keeping people out of the jobs market for even longer period of time. You also had the eviction kind of safety net was lifted, which a lot of people weren't happy about, but the markets don't care. Excuse me, guys, as I'm taking a sip of water. Erickson, welcome. Everyone, welcome Erickson. Give a big warm welcome to Erickson, folks. That is now 16 laptops left. We only have 16 laptops left now, guys. Use coupon code TTG121. Remember, get yourself the 40% discount, and you'll get the brand new free laptop. All right, we also cover shipping. Remember, you actually have to enter coupon code TTG121, folks. All right, so I'm actually thinking that we may get green Monday, Tuesday, and then volatility Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, where maybe we kind of have like this slow crawl higher Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you get a little bit of a shakeup. You get maybe a little bit of a gap down, a bounce back, a pullback, and maybe a red way to kind of finish out the week. But I do think we can extend to new all-time highs at least tomorrow. I mean, futures markets are sitting right there at all-time highs right now anyway. So I think maybe, 442, 443, 444 are in the cards for us Monday, Tuesday. And then I think you got to be careful. If anybody is holding on to call options from maybe last week, I think Monday, Tuesday, I would say take profits into strength early on the week because you do have the potential of some economic data to kind of shake things up a little bit later in the week. All right. So I think that we get a little bit of a strength in the beginning of the week with maybe some volatility towards the end of the week is kind of what I'm looking for with regards to the overall markets. All right. Now let's talk infrastructure bill real quick because members of True Trading Group have been absolutely decimating U.S. Steel and CX. So ticker symbol X and ticker symbol CX. Infrastructure plays that one of our moderators and partner in True Trading Group, Jason Spatafora, the Wolf of Wheat Street, has been absolutely decimating options in X and CX. to the point where it's almost not fair anymore. Guys, if you are a member of True Trading Group and you have made money in X or CX, type the number 1 in chat right now. Type the number 1 in chat right now. If you made money on X or CX with the Wolf, type the number 1 in chat right now. So in True Trading Group, guys, we've been all over this infrastructure play. We have been all over this infrastructure play literally since last fall. And you guys can take a look at what X has done since September. And the Wolf and our teaching members have been playing US Steel ever since. I've been playing it absolutely beautifully. And, you know, you have, you also, you know, I'll take it CX as well. Then you have CLF is another one. Okay. So these are kind of your infrastructure plays. Cleveland Cliffs, US Steel. All right. Cemex. All right. These are your infrastructure plays. And we've been playing them in True Trading Group very, very well. But what I want to talk to you guys about is if the infrastructure bill does pass, I do think you have the potential set up here for a buy the rumor, sell the news type of trade, where if the infrastructure bill passes, you maybe get a gap up on these names, where maybe US Steel, CX, Cleveland Cliffs, they all give you this gap up. And then I think maybe that gap up is fadeable. So I would say that do not, well, I mean, you guys do whatever you want. I'm just giving you my opinion on what I think price action we may get. I think that a lot of the move higher that you've seen in US Steel and that you've seen in Cleveland Cliffs, right, ever since Biden took office, was anticipation and expectation of a massive infrastructure spending bill. So I do think this bill has been expected for quite some time. And I think a lot of this upward movement is factored in here. Now, you also have higher prices factored in here, higher prices of steel, right? Steel prices have gone up. You know, basically all commodity prices have gone up with inflation. You had the reopening trade kind of fuel some of that economic little spurt. And all of that has factored into a very strong move going back to the fall of last year in all of these infrastructure names. So what I'm saying is be careful, be cautious of getting the potential of a buy the rumor, sell the news event, where if you are just getting long these stocks after the infrastructure bill passes, my opinion is you are late to the party. My opinion is everyone is already positioned for this infrastructure bill, and I think you might get maybe a gap up on this or a move higher on the bill passing, and then I think you might get a fade. I think you might get a fade where some profit taking really kicks in on a lot of these names. So just something to keep in mind. The Wolf will talk to you guys through these trades next week. I'm sure. I know the Wolf is still in US Steel. US Steel actually has a dividend. I think it's a penny a share. I think it's a penny a share for US Steel. The record date for the dividend is this Friday. The record date for that dividend is this Friday. So that's going to be interesting. So you may get some buying pressure coming to US Steel to take advantage of the dividend record date for Friday, plus anticipation of the infrastructure bill passing. And then once that bill passes, and then once the record date of the dividend is locked, you may get some profit taking in these stocks. Okay, you may get some profit taking in these stocks. So something to think about, something to consider. Now, I will wrap this up with the stock that I added to my long-term portfolio on Friday. I already own the stock. I just made the position a little bit bigger. And we have some earnings this week that I want you guys to focus on. Last week, you had Tilray report earnings. Earnings were actually really good. The stock traded higher the day of earnings, and then it pulled back, which is, you know, typical Tilray fashion, typical any Canadian cannabis stock. They all do the same. They rally when they report anything good or there's any type of good news, but then they sell off. Why? Because they're not great companies, bottom line. And a lot of them are not doing a fantastic job of making money. And that's what things come down to. So you had the quick pop on earnings. That was the earnings from Tilray, which were actually good. And then you had the pullback. Well, you have other cannabis earnings this week as well. You have Canopy Growth on Friday. Canopy Growth's chart makes me nauseous. This is a horrible, disgusting looking chart for Canopy, but they report earnings on Friday. You also have Cronos. Cronos reports earnings on Friday. Cronos has a absolute steel wall of support at $7. Now, you're going to want to watch for these stocks to see how they come out with their earnings on Friday. Canopy and Cronos both have earnings on Friday. And then the following Monday is earnings for the stock that I added in my long-term portfolio, Curaleaf. Okay, Curaleaf. Ticker symbol CURLF, Curaleaf. Curaleaf is by sheer revenue, the largest public cannabis company by revenue. Okay, it blows Canopy out of the water. Curaleaf is the highest revenue producing cannabis company by far. It is not even close. Okay, Curaleaf has net profit higher than some other cannabis companies just have sales. It is not even close. Canopy is the largest when it comes to earnings and revenue. All right. Now, this is my largest cannabis position in my long-term portfolio, and I want more of it. I think they're going to crush earnings next Monday. Next Monday, this company is coming out with earnings. There's also a great support level here around this $11.50 area. All right, this $11.50 area, you can see this support level on Curaleaf. Prior resistance here in 2019. Again, resistance in 2020. We then broke above that level. It became support. We tested it. It became support. We have now dropped back down to test it again. And it once again became support. I think this area right here is a great place to own Curaleaf. I think it's a great place to own Curaleaf. The cannabis sector has been extremely weak these last couple of months, and Curaleaf has held up relatively well compared to a lot of the others. Like if you take a look at the chart of Curaleaf and then you compare it to a chart of Tilray. Are you kidding? Compare it to a chart of Canopy Growth. Are you kidding? Compare it to a chart of Aurora. Are you kidding? And take a look at Curaleaf. Looks a hell of a lot better than the others. Now, Curaleaf is on the OTC. I talked about this with the Wolf last week on my live stream. We talked about the cannabis sector. I've explained to people before, the U.S. cannabis companies are far better companies. From a fundamental standpoint, these companies crap on Tilray, Cronos, Aurora. Companies like Curaleaf, Green Thumb, Trulieve, they are way better companies, in my opinion, from a fundamental standpoint. The reason why these stocks do not trade the same volume as Tilray, Aurora, Canopy, Cronos, and the reason why these stocks don't trade at the same multiple to earnings and multiple to sales as Canopy and Tilray and Cronos is because the U.S. cannabis companies are not allowed legally to trade on the New York Stock Exchange because cannabis is still federally illegal in the United States. But because it is federally legal in Canada, the Canadian companies are able to trade on a major exchange. Betty, welcome to the TTG family. Everyone give Betty a big warm welcome. Everyone welcome Betty. Folks, there are now only 15 laptops left. Use coupon code TTG121. Get yourself that 40% discount. Remember, the price goes up at midnight tonight, and then lock in one of those free laptops. There's only 15 of them left. Okay, so the U.S. companies, even though they make way more money than the Canadian companies, they sell way more cannabis. than the Canadian companies. They are not allowed to trade on a major exchange. They have to trade on the OTC, which hurts their liquidity, which hurts their multiple, which hurts their valuation. Market participants, a lot of market participants are not able to trade these. Anyone with a Robinhood account cannot buy Curaleaf. That's tens of millions of traders that cannot buy Curaleaf. Hedge funds. A lot of hedge funds can't buy Curaleaf. Guys, when I worked at the fund in New York, I was not allowed to buy OTC stocks. We weren't allowed to. So you have to think about every fund trader that wants to be invested in cannabis but cannot buy an OTC stock. Their only option is Tilray, Canopy, Cronos, Aurora, which are inferior companies. The day that these U.S. cannabis companies are able to uplist to a major exchange, which I believe it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when that does happen, these stocks are going to absolutely explode. Because you're going to have every single hedge fund, bank, institution that currently owns Tilray, Canopy, Cronos, Aurora. Every single one of them is going to buy Curaleaf and Green Thumb. If they are going to, my opinion, if they are going to be invested in the cannabis space, how do you not buy the company that is selling the absolute most, that has the highest revenue? Curaleaf is expected to do over $300 million in sales when they report earnings on Monday. That's in one quarter. By next year, Curaleaf is expected to do over $1 billion in sales. Canopy, Aurora, Cronos, Tilray can't even come close to that. So I believe it's a matter of when, not if. Curaleaf, my largest position in my cannabis holdings. Green Thumb is my second largest. And I added to this position on Friday. I believe, I don't remember what my price was, like $11.90, I believe was my price. Pretty sure it was $11.90. Right there. Boop. Right there, $11.90. All right. I added to my position right there at $11.90. Okay. I added right there at $11.90. Okay. Now, this company reports earnings on next Monday. All right. Next Monday, this company reports earnings. And you also have this real nice, like, look at this nice little pattern this thing is forming. Like this nice little downtrend line, this nice little consolidation, this nice support level. And listen, I'll tell you guys this. If Curaleaf drops down to here, I'm going to buy even more. If Curaleaf drops down to here, I will buy even more. But I look at 1150 area. I look at the 1150. I look at that as a nice support area. So I stepped in there and I bought 1190. If we drop down into the 10s, I'll buy more. My next support level that I see here, on Curaleaf is $10. It's like just below 10. It's like $9.75. All right, you guys can see it right here. I'll draw it out for you. There's one. There's two. There's support. So if we drop down into here, I will buy more. This is, again, a long-term investment for me. I plan on holding Curaleaf and Green Thumb and my cannabis stocks. I'm going to be a long-term shareholder of these for the next 3 to 5 years before I take profit. I'm not taking profit on these things, guys, until they're listed on the New York Stock Exchange and Curaleaf is a $50 stock. Because if you give Curaleaf the same multiple as Canopy, if you give Curaleaf the same multiple as Canopy Growth, and Curaleaf does more in revenue and more in sales, if you give them the same multiple, Curaleaf is a $50 stock. So like I said, I think it's a matter of when, not if, and that is why I took advantage of this pullback and I added to my Curaleaf position at $11.90. And like I said, if we drop down near 10, I will add more. All right, folks. And there you have it. And that just about does it there, folks. That wraps everything up for the lessons and topics for tonight. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys got some value out of this. I hope this helps kind of formulate your game plan with the infrastructure stocks, with the SPY, with everything going on with COVID. I hope this gave you some insight into the cannabis space and some long-term investment ideas. That's my goal with all these lives, is to make sure you guys get value and you can become better traders and better prepared after seeing these lives. That's my goal. That is my goal with all of them. Guys, what I'm going to do here right now, for those that are interested, I'm going to show you the platform on True Trading Group now. I'm going to show you guys what you actually get included with your membership. But before I do, I'd like to know how many people, we're still about 1,000 people that are viewing us right now on the different platforms that are live with us at 10 p.m. Eastern on a Sunday. So I want to know how many people here are not members. So type the letters TTG in chat right now if you are not a member of True Trading Group. If you're not a member, type TTG. Rigo, Duck Butter, Oliver Jones, Ralph Magro, Joseph Ramakis, Angelique Lee Leslie, Renee Peterson. Kenny McDowell. Nice, guys. Trevor Farmer, Melissa. Yo, Matt McGregor, I'll see you tomorrow, brother. Hadar. Beautiful, guys. Awesome. Guys, listen up. For those that are all typing TTG in chat right now, before I get into the platform, I want you to all know we do have a free 1-week trial. All right, you guys could try out True Trading Group for an entire week free. There's no credit card required. It's totally free. You get 1 week of read-only access to our trading chat room. You get our daily watch list and trading game plan every morning. You get our Benzinga Pro live news feed. You get 1 free sample course, and you get to view the trading history of all of our moderators. All right, you can get all of that for 1 week totally free. Just go to ttgfree.com. That's ttgfree.com. Totally free. Now, listen carefully though. You're not going to get a free laptop though if you do the free 1 week trial. So you won't get the free laptop. You also will not get the 40% discount. You'll get, maybe the most you'll get is probably like a 22% discount if you sign up from the trial. Okay, but if you guys want to try this out for a week, you're more than welcome to. Go to ttgfree.com. Now, for everybody else, guys, remember, the price goes up at midnight Pacific tonight. So our membership is normally $2,212 for the year, but from now till midnight Pacific tonight, you can use the coupon code TTG121 to get a 40% discount. It brings the price of our membership all the way down to just $1,316. And the next 15 people to use that code will get themselves a brand new free laptop. We even cover the shipping costs. We do ship globally. We have members literally all over the world. There's no upsells in True Trading Group. There are no add-ons. Alan, welcome to the family, folks. Everyone, welcome Alan to the group. There are now 14 laptops left. That's it. 14 laptops left. Use coupon code TTG121. So there are no upsells. You pay one price, you literally get access to everything we have. And as a member of True Trading Group, I told you, understand, TTG is a platform. You're not just paying for trade alerts. It's a platform. You get access to the top premium trading tools and products because we bundle them together as part of your membership. Included in your membership to True Trading Group, you are going to be getting access to our Benzinga Pro real-time newsfeed. This is a live breaking up to the second news alert service directly inside of our chat room that gives you news as soon as it crosses the wire. If you're going to be an active trader, the faster you get news will literally make the difference between you losing money or making money. You cannot rely on something like Yahoo Finance that takes 15 or 20 minutes to get a press release out to you. You need something that can give you a notification as soon as the news hits the wire, just like how all the algorithms and the computers, they read news as soon as it crosses the news wire because they're connected to it. You need something that can give you that speed. This is the Benzinga Pro news feed. Our partners over at Benzinga, we've implemented this into our platform. It is totally free when you become a member of True Trading Group. It is a game changer. You're also getting quote streams real-time, full book level 2. This is going to show you all the market maker depth inside of level 2, not just the market makers your broker shows you. You're also going to get a trading simulator that lets you trade stocks and options with fake money while you practice implementing what you've learned in the courses. Guys, please use the simulator when you first start. Most traders lose money when they first get started. Use the simulator, prove to yourself you can make money before you start trading with your hard-earned cash. You're also going to get access to our Trade Ideas scanner. This is a live breaking, this is a live scanner, live real-time, not breaking. It was a real-time scanner that shows you stocks that are making new highs, new lows, that have volume surges. It's broken down to small caps, mid caps, and large caps, whatever you trade. It really just helps make sure that you are focused on the best stocks on any given day, right? Then you're also going to get TradingView's Pro charting software. That's one of the most commonly used charting softwares by active traders today. All of this stuff is free, guys. You do not have to pay $1 extra to use any of these tools. They are all included with your membership. You're going to get a minimum of 10 easy-to-follow, actionable real-time trade alerts per week from a community of traders that's sporting over an 80% win rate in chat. And like I said, we're fully transparent. We keep a trading journal on our website that literally tracks every buy and every sell that all of our moderators make. So you can follow along and see how we're performing. You also get access to small private study group with a teaching moderator. This is your chance to get individualized attention and ask questions and go over lessons and topics that you need help with to really speed up that learning curve. Then you've got the courses. Folks, the courses are a game changer. This is what education is really about. This is a simplified version of the stuff I learned working at the fund in New York. There's beginner and foundation courses if you've never done this before. There's also advanced courses if you're a seasoned trader. There's also courses on options, trader psychology, swing trading, crypto. There's even a course that helps you do your taxes as a trader. All of our courses are in text and video format, whichever is easier for you to learn. Then in addition to all of our courses, we have a video library that has well over 100 hours of additional educational video content. These are all of those workshops and webinars I told you about. We do workshops every week with our members covering various trading topics. This video library, we record these workshops. We load them up here. We've covered different topics like how to grow a small account, how to trade while working a full-time job, how to resist FOMO and have confidence pulling the trigger. All of this is in the video library. You have access to all of it. Okay. And then, of course, our chat room where the moderators and I, we're sharing our screen with you during the day. We're calling out trades in real time in advance of making those trades. Like I said, you saw me ask my members before, guys. I come on the microphone before I enter a trade and I tell everyone what stock I'm buying, where I'm buying it, where's my stop loss. I tell you before I actually enter the trade. All right. And you guys can private message the moderators. You can ask us questions. We're there with you the whole day. We're not just gone after 2 hours and you have to fend for yourself. Now, guys, listen, because between now and the end of the month, we're going to be walking the price of our membership up to over $2,000. Because in life, it's important to know your worth. And we know our membership is worth way more than $1,300. To put things into perspective for you, I told you at the beginning of this live stream, that Benzinga newsfeed, Benzinga charges $1,400 a year for that newsfeed. It is included free with your membership to True Trading Group. And you can join True Trading Group right now for just $1,316. That's less than the Benzinga newsfeed would cost you if you bought it on your own. And you get everything else I just said to you, plus a brand new laptop. It's an absolute no-brainer. The value you get in TTG is ridiculous. On top of the Benzinga newsfeed, that level 2 from Quote Media, they charge $990 a year for that. The trading simulator is $300 a year, excuse me. And TradingView's premium level charting software is $600 a year. If you paid for these services on your own, you'd spend over $3,200 in 1 year. They are all included free at no additional fee. When there's no upsell, it's included. And you can join right now for $1,316 for the whole year. Use coupon code TTG121. The price goes up at midnight tonight. And the next 14 people to use that code will get a 40% discount and the brand new laptop. Folks, our goal is to disrupt this entire industry. In order to do that, we've got to provide insane value and results at a price that is substantially less than any of our so-called competitors. Do not forget about that money back guarantee. Anyone that goes through all of our courses, passes the quizzes, and attends one private study group, if you do those 3 things and still do not make back your membership fee one time during your membership, I will give you a full refund. I'll give you all of your money back if you don't make back that membership fee at least once after doing those 3 things. That is how much I stand behind my program. That is how much I stand behind the education and the community that we have created at True Trading Group. How? Because over 80% of our members are making money and becoming better traders, according to a recent survey we just did in the beginning of July with all of our members. About 7,000 of us strong now. Everything I'm saying to you is on the website, so you know you're getting exactly what I'm saying. But let's talk about that membership fee for a second. My TTG family members, how long did it take you to make back your membership? How long did it take you to make back your membership? John Bean took him 1 day. Savannah, 2 months. Teng Yang, 1 day. Listen, folks, I messed at the end of last week. I needed advice, and Mike answered in minutes. I also asked other TGD members, and they were there for me as well. Come join the TGD family. Hell yeah, Ben. Family indeed, brother. Always there for you guys. Christy, 2 weeks. Bruce Sears, 2 months, and is still making money. It took April 2 to 3 days and has made it back several times since. It took Savannah then 8 months to make back her lifetime membership. It took Ben 1 month to make back his membership fee. It took Jenny Wonder 6 trades. 2.5 months for Apple B. So you guys can just keep reading some of these comments in chat. These are your team, guys. This is your family members. We're also 5-star rated on Trustpilot, folks. Please, I encourage you. Go read the reviews on Trustpilot. We are 5-star rated. Over 1,300 people have taken the time out of their day to leave us a review on Trustpilot. Go read them. Go read them. All right. Use coupon code TTG121. Get yourself the 40% discount for the price. Guys, the price goes up at midnight. So if you want to lock in the 40% discount, you got to jump on this right now. Use coupon code TTG121. Get that discount. The next 14 people will get a brand new free laptop. Yes, we do cover shipping and we do ship globally. All right. If not, you remember we do have that 1-week trial. You guys can go to ttgfree.com. That is ttgfree.com. Remember, though, do the trial. Best you'll get to 22% discount, and you will not get the free laptop, but you're more than welcome to try us out for a full week and see what it's like to be part of the family. Roy, welcome to the family. Everyone give a big warm welcome to Roy, newest member of the fam. We've got 13 laptops left. 13 laptops left. Trina, welcome to the TTG family. We've got 12 laptops left. They're flying now. Everyone give a big warm welcome to Roy and Trina, newest members of the TTG family. We now only have 12 laptops left. Folks, don't waste any more time. Remember, you actually have to enter TTG121 and click apply code to get the discount. All right? And if you go to the checkout page, if you see the laptop in the checkout cart, that's how you know you got one. If you go to the checkout and there's no laptop in the checkout cart, that means we've sold out. There are 12 more left. So use that code before midnight Pacific. You only got a couple hours left to get that discount and get the free laptop. TTG121 coupon code. Use it now. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. You're the best. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications if you haven't done so already. Smash that like button if you guys are excited to start the week off and to start the month off tomorrow, the first trading day of August. Let's make it count. I'll see you guys all in chat tomorrow. Thanks for joining me tonight. You're the best. I love you all. I'll see you guys all later.